Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of FA Live. My name is Caitlin Brower here at First Advantage. I am the Director of Social Media, PR, and Events, and I am also your host of FA Live. I'm really excited to be here today with our guest, Kendra Holliday. She's the VP of Sales for our staffing and gig units. And as you can see on the bottom of our screen, the topic today is from high volume to high impact, modern screening strategies for staffing firms. Kendra, welcome to FA Live. I'm so happy to have you here. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience?
Would love to. Thank you, Caitlin, for a beautiful introduction. As you mentioned, my name is Kendra. I lead our staffing vertical here. I'm so excited. Staffing is my passion. I've been in this vertical for 10 years. So really excited to talk about that today with you.
Yeah. So can you dive into a little bit, to kind of get the show started here, specifically your experience within the staffing industry? So you said 10 years, but anything else kind of to add into that?
So I was actually a direct contributor role for probably 6 years. In the last 4, I have led a team of individual contributors into the staffing vertical. We work with a wide range from just your, small mom and pop staffing organizations all the way up to the largest in the industry. So we actually own the market for staffing. We have 8 at the top 10 and are working on getting the other 2.
Awesome. We love to hear that. So quickly, before we get started for our audience, if you are tuning in live right now, if you have any questions for Kendra throughout the episode, you could put them in the comment section on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, and I'll get them over to her as I see fit. We're going to start with just diving into some questions I have just around staffing industry background checks. So my first question for you is, what sets staffing customers apart within the background screening space?
So number one, I guess there's really 2 that are almost tied for number 1, and that's going to be turnaround time and then a candidate experience. So staffing organizations, it's a dog race. You have to have, the fastest turnaround time. You cannot, especially in today's market where staffing is significantly down. We have seen, probably one of the biggest lulls in the last 10 years, this past year and a half. And if you miss a placement because of turnaround time, that's revenue. That's delayed revenue for the organization. So having a background screening partner that has the fastest turnaround times to get the candidates placed is number 1. And then also number 1 is going to be the candidate experience. If it is too cumbersome or, the candidate is getting through the process and they're like, and abandon because it's too much work for them. And maybe it's easier with the staffing company down the street. So whoever can kind of get the placement first and have the best candidate experience is going to win that placement.
Are there any other elements that you'd like to share that might be more important to staffing firms aside from that turnaround and that candidate experience?
Yeah, I'd say those are the 2 staples. I think right now the biggest topic and biggest product that we're seeing being added is identity. Right now, staffing clients have an obligation to not only place the individual, meet their client requirements, but also to confirm their identity, to really make sure that the individual they're placing at their client site is who they say they are. A recent stat from Gartner said that by 2028, 1 in 4 candidates is going to be fake globally. So that's
crazy.
1 in 4. Yeah.
Yeah, we cannot beat this drum hard enough or more frequent because it's a topic that we're bringing up on FA Live all the time. We're looking at those stats from Gartner. We're looking at other, areas. We're even looking at our own data from a digital identity perspective, and we will continue to talk about it on FA Live where we are. I see on Facebook someone reacted with the mouth open reaction because that is everyone should be like, oh wow, what did she just share with us? So coming from your customers within staffing, how are they adapting to better attract and place talent?
So it starts with that candidate experience and, really having a background screening provider that can help you with your turnaround time, with a candidate experience, and then also meeting your client requirements. Because if we can't meet the client requirements, you're going to have to find another vendor out there and get that placement done. But identity is, like I said, beating the drum again on it is how scary is it to then place, like if you're a staffing organization, you have an obligation to a client and you end up placing somebody at their site who we saw that, I don't know if you have or not, but there was a PSA out from our FBI on North Korean IT workers. So if you're in the IT staffing space, go look for that because they are infiltrating, especially in the IT space and just any vertical as well, with deep fakes.
Yeah. We have a question that's coming in on LinkedIn. How fast is your turnaround time for a typical staffing package? So I guess when you're, typical customer within staffing.
Okay. So I would say it depends, right? If you're doing education and employment, I would say for criminal only, we average less than a day. So usually about 70% of our criminal only orders are coming back in about an hour, and 90+% are coming back within a day when it's criminal only.
Awesome. And keep the questions coming, people. Yeah. We love that. So we tapped into identity. Is there any other tool or tech being used to streamline background screening for staffing?
We see a lot of HCM software, ATSs, I-9 providers that are I-9 that we offer, having the embedded identity solution. And we're seeing a lot of questions on AI and how we use AI or what kind of tools, the other providers can be using to get even the placements the candidates to us in that part of the funnel. So a mix of that.
Absolutely. So let's shift the conversation here now to talk about a little bit more about customer support. So for First Advantage, how is our support for staffing customers differ? How does it differ compared to other industries?
We have a deep understanding of staffing. So I am so excited to say, not only do I lead a team of sales individuals that understand our vertical, but that we have solutions engineers, implementation project managers, both dedicated to our vertical. And then we have a customer success team that once you're onboarded, that's all they work with. They work with other staffing organizations, sometimes BPO or gig clients. But our bread and butter is staffing. And when we have that kind of deep understanding, we have leadership councils that we do where we get everybody to talk, and kind of come on. Either we do some virtual, we have done some in person. We have a Collaborate, which is an annual user conference. So a little plug, April next year, somewhere. I think we might have.
You'll know soon.
But we would love to have you there. Come see. And that's, we have birds of a feather sessions where we get together and talk different trends in staffing, and you get to hear from your peers. But it comes to, we understand in staffing that you have to respond to your client. So if we're delayed, if anything's delayed, that is your face to your client. So we are behind that, and we deliver very quick so that you can get back to the client.
So for those two examples that you shared, the leadership councils and Collaborate, kind of those programs that really stand out for staffing, can you just elaborate a little bit more on the leadership councils? We do talk a lot about them on FA Live, but I'd love to see, what you guys are doing for specifically within staffing.
Absolutely. So the last one we had, I think, was a couple months ago, but we get all of our top clients together, not even top, just anybody that is interested in participating, and ask questions, and we feel them out to our clients so that we can understand what is relevant to you. We're not just coming and bringing something. Maybe we want to talk about identity, but maybe you want to talk about something else. So we really, field the questions from our clients and bring topics together. And then also how we can help solve. And even if it's not something that First Advantage can do directly to solve any current issues, but if there's any way that we can help, we're willing to help, even if it's not like something directly from one of our products or services.
Yeah. And that peer-to-peer interaction is so critical, specifically within background screening, because there are so many questions that a lot of these HR professionals have. And where is the safe space for them to ask it? So a lot of these leadership councils, you had brought up Collaborate. We do bring the industries together and Collaborate too, to ask these questions, to get the help they need. And it is always just good to see someone looking back at you kind of with the same questions. And you're like, okay, I'm not alone. And then here's First Advantage coming in and actually solving for it, which is awesome. Yeah. Or going to get the materials, like you said, if we can't right away, going and understanding how we can solve for it in the future. So love that. Can you share a success story where First Advantage made a measurable impact?
Yeah. So there was a staffing organization. They are global, but this is just their North America business that we had brought over. And they had a team, sorry if you're listening, but they had a team of individuals who literally sat on phones to help candidates go through the process for their background check.
Wow.
It would take them a day to follow up and get to the candidate, to get them actually just to complete the forms, sign, and give the information that they needed. That team completely went away. They saw an increase in turnaround time, and they have now been a client for a couple of years. So I know that they're happy. They join these leadership councils and collaborate in person. But yeah, just thinking that somebody had to have a team like to sit there and help somebody get through a process that should take you less than 3 minutes was baffling to me. I didn't realize that kind of tech was out there still.
Yeah. But then you also think of too, like here we are in like 2025, picking up the phone to call someone isn't always the most like natural thing anymore. So I'm sure there was a lot of phone tag going on too, that also wasted a lot of time. It's a great example. And I think a lot of the success stories that we share, whether it's, on our website or on FA Live, I know we did a transportation one recently. Those stories are about giving time back and giving the value back to an organization to put your time and effort into other areas and not doing this manual labor, like picking up the phone and trying to get someone to complete the background check.
Yeah. Not today.
No. Not anymore. But that's great. Again, really, really awesome example there. So if we look to the future, we're looking at innovation within staffing, specifically within background screening. We'll also hiring too. What do you think is next for hiring and background screening and staffing?
So immediately what's next is identity. Every single staffing client that I am talking to today, and don't worry, because if you feel like you're behind and you just started thinking about it or talking about it, that is where I would say 90% of the conversations we have today it is like facilitating a program, getting it in place and actually doing something about it. So you're not behind, but soon will be, because everybody's out there talking about it and actually implementing a program. A few are a little ahead of the curve and actually already implemented an identity offering. That's the immediate future. I'd say here in the next year or two, I'm really curious to see kind of what AI does in our tools and how easy it makes things to get through the process, how it makes the background check faster. I was a little cautious when the person that asked about turnaround time had said, our CEO has said we're going to be the first to a 10-minute background check. So stay tuned. That might be in the future.
All right. I was saying you didn't hear it here first. I've heard that before. I can't make announcements like that on FA Live. I'm just kidding. We talk about all the best stuff here. So no, but it's a great point for sure. Again, there's that constant. I mean, obviously AI is a hot topic. How does that make the processes better, quicker, faster, smoother in the future? We'll figure that out. And then identity. And I like your point too. Like, if you are watching right now and you're like, oh, like, shoot, I haven't had that conversation yet. Like, it's okay. You're in good company, but have the conversation. It needs to start now. So, because shortly in the future, you're going to be behind. So you're good right now. Everyone's good right now, but have the conversation. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So what advice would you give to staffing firms? They're watching right now live, they're watching on demand, in a day or two. What advice are you giving them to improve their background screening efficiency?
So, this is, I feel like, the Miss America question, but it would be,
I love that.
Selective vendor who is always investing. there are a lot of background screening partners out there, and there's only one First Advantage. But since the beginning of the year, and I think it might be a little glitchy, sorry if I am, but we've invested $75 million in our product and tech just in 2025. So, and we're continuing to invest. That number is not going to slow down. And what does that mean? It means process. You'll see some of those investments as a client on the user interfaces, the candidate experience, and things like that. But you're also going to feel a lot of that investment on the back end, just from integrations into different counties and the tech that were processing on the back end. So it would be one, choose a staffing partner that has a deep understanding of staffing. First and foremost, you're different, and we all know it. It's a hard vertical. Staffing companies, it's churn, turnaround time, candidate experience, and then following that is find somebody that's investing in their tech, because you don't want to fall behind. And the minute you do, you'll be losing your placements to your competition.
Yeah, you can't have that like stale and stagnant technology. So I think it's great advice to look for a partner like First Advantage, who isn't just saying they're investing. The numbers are there, which you've showcased. We've showcased in public forums before. And we're also not just showcasing a number, we're actually showing you the technology and the enhancements as well. I did love that's now going to be my thing. I'm going to ask everyone the Miss America question at the end of this. I loved that because it's like, what do you aspire to be? How can you change the world, Kendra? So I think but you're doing a good job. You and your team are changing the world.
One placement at a time. Yeah.
One placement at a time. Oh my God. I absolutely love that. So speaking again, talking to staffing customers, talking to staffing, prospects, those in the organization, we will be at Staffing Industry Analysts Conference this week. They are hosting Collaboration X.
Yep.
We will be there. Can you tell the audience a little? You will be there. So you are going. Like everyone here, you see her on the screen. You will see her in person this week. Tell the audience a little bit about our presence there.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up, Caitlin, because it's a great event. SIA, one of our amazing partners, Dallas the next 2 days. So I'm actually flying out tomorrow. I think it starts tomorrow evening for a little bit through Thursday at the Omni in Dallas, Texas. And we have our one and only president, Joelle Smith, actually speaking at one of the engagements. I'm sure we'll tag it on this post as well if you're interested at the time or place that she'll be speaking if you're going. And she's actually partnering with someone from SIA and another individual to talk about the one and the only hot topic, identity. So please come, listen to Joelle Smith speak. She's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to this topic, and has a deep understanding and passion for staffing. So I'm excited. I'll be there. I'll have another one of my reps there. Caitlin's going to be there. I'll have our marketing team. Please shoot me a message on LinkedIn, drop comments. I can respond to them. We'd love to meet up, at the booth, let you know when I'm around. But really excited for the event.
Absolutely. It's going to be great. And like you said, we've got a great team attending. So please sync up. Reach out to the team prior too, if you guys want to schedule some time with us. A really, really good crew there. I did want to give our audience a final chance to ask a question, but we did get another question in on LinkedIn here. So what trend solutions in background screening are you seeing in the US? And okay, so it's trends in the US right now. And would that make us a good fit for Latin America staffing companies? So I guess, what are you seeing right now? And does that translate over into Latin America? How do we partner with staffing firms in Latin America? So kind of a two-parter, I guess.
So if I'm understanding the question correctly, and if I didn't answer it, I'm going to respond to make sure I did to you individually. But we do see a lot of our staffing clients pick up what we're calling nearshoring, going down into Mexico or even just farther into Latin America. It depends, it depends on what industry, what vertical kind of that you're servicing. Do you have, are you IT staffing? Are you direct placement staffing? Your professional staffing. So I'd want to know a little bit more about the organization to really, kind of better address the question.
Sure.
But we do have plenty of Latin American-based staffing clients as well.
Yeah.
A lot more in the PO space. So I'm curious to see if it's something.
Yeah, no, and it's a good, even if diving into getting a little bit more information there, I think that is a perfect, way to phrase it, that we do have, customers in Latin America, so we can support if needed. And like I always said, reach out.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yes, yes. Well, again, quickly, if you do have any other questions, please go ahead and submit them. And then, Kendra, for you, I would just love to get, your final thoughts from today's episode.
Thank you, Caitlin. I thank you for all of those that have supported online or are going to watch this later. Staffing's my passion. I've been at First Advantage, like I said, in staffing for 10 years. I have been in background screening a lot longer, so I'm not going to tell you my age. But staffing to me keeps me on my toes. We have to be experts every single day at your client requirements, at the verticals that your clients serve. Do you do healthcare staffing? Is it, is it in transportation? You have all of these different verticals that you have to be experts in, and I need to be experts in. So you keep me on my toes, you keep me going and energetic every day. And we'd love the opportunity to field any more questions. Please reach out to me directly. I have an entire team that's ready to take your call. And again, I'll be at SIA Collaboration X tomorrow. So message me on LinkedIn. We can go get coffee, meet up at the booth, anything like that.
Absolutely. So yes, Kendra, thank you so much. At this time, we don't have any further questions, but this was a phenomenal episode, a lot of great information. And again, we will be at Collaboration X this week in Dallas. So if you are attending, please sync up with the First Advantage team, but you can always sync with the First Advantage team at any time online. Yes. We're here for you. You can get in touch with Kendra, her team, contact us on LinkedIn, our website. Talk to us. We're here to help in any way we can. With that, another great episode of FA Live. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in, whether you are watching live now or on demand later. I will catch you on the next episode. But most importantly, Kendra, thank you for joining me today.
Most importantly, thank you, Caitlin. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Yes.
Make it an amazing day.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone.